Well, it should be on. If it's not, screw me. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, no introduction. Anyways. It's just awkward. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because when I sit there and I take photos of myself, um, after I like do some like some like outfit that looks good, I'm like, I think I know what I'm doing here. Okay. But the pens were bought for a reason. The same pens from before. I'm not gonna do the same thing from before because you can go watch a different video for that. So skateboard decks, typically when you pop them up, are this way. People mount them sometimes and they're supposed to be looking at you. And so for the sake of the video, the way the camera is posed and the way I have to position myself is gonna be slanted. So this is gonna look really weird and really botched, and that's okay. Because this is just a own personal project. There was original artwork on this, but then I sanded it all down, and then I spray painted it with primer. And no, I didn't sand it down afterwards, and people are gonna judge it. It's fine. It's a part of the process. You learn as you go. You learn as you go. That's a dog in the background, by the way. Thank you, Blue. Okay. So, I think I start off with the like kind of overall design, which I don't even know what that's gonna be, and then I like tag the top with like the brand, you know, the RMW. That's what I put. Ra Mwah Works. Okay. So the first thing you gotta do, draw a line. Doesn't matter. Now if you wanted this to be a perfect canvas, you wouldn't even touch the canvas. And then from here, you go ahead and work out exactly what you feel. You gotta remember the trucks go right here. So in this area, it's kind of like not gonna be seen. Really, this whole entire square here. So let's go ahead and black this out. You might say, well, you're just wasting ink. Sure. It was being wasted anyways when it was sitting on the shelf at the store, but it didn't matter then. It only matters now because someone happens to be using it. You know? And you may say, wow, someone else could be using this for a more important... someone also could just be snorting the hell out of this to... just because, you know? Like, there's so many different things that other people... God, this is hot. It's almost like it's coffee. That took way too long. And it's still way too warm. Okay. Well, I guess we have flowers. That one splotched as hell. It's fine. You just draw over the flower. Now it has petals. It has layers. He's being nosy. There's always someone being nosy. Oh, they just let the dog out. Yeah, I'm gonna pray that this is recording or else I'm gonna have to resand this all down. Hold on. Let me check. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. You can have some like elusive type of flowers. Like you could do the like I don't know what type of pedal these are, but just so like, holy cow, bro. Like just so it gives it some like actual depth. Like, oh my god, it's not just 2D, it's actually 3-dimensional. Duh. It's weird because those ones actually... Oh, I was gonna do this just because I have 3 different colors, so I can do this. And it's gonna be harder now that there's a lot more black, but that's okay. So, yeah, line this way. You draw... I think I want the green line to be on this one. And then you have the blue line, which gives you your like 3-dimensional. And I could have done dots the other way, but this is how you can create a field of depth on your pictures. Sometimes people place these in like the corner of their drawings to help them understand the dimension in which they want their project to be perceived. It's just for guidance, so you know exactly where. I'm not gonna label them X, Y, or Z. You probably have seen plenty of that yourself. It's all dependent on the orientation in which you want the axes typically to be. There is conventional methods for said axes, but this is art, not science. But I believe Z is typically the one that comes out of the plane. So you normally have these two that you would draw. It's okay. So for the sake of this one and for the perspective that you're viewing it, this is your Y. You'll label this one Y. So I said I wasn't going to, but this one is Y. Why? Because it goes up and down. Whoop, I, whoop, I. Your voice tone's going up. X. Okay, your X axis, you know, like you're talking like you have braces on. I had braces on before. Is the one that goes across. X, 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 X. It's a constant moving horizontal thing. And so your Z is usually the one that comes out to you. It comes out of the plane. So for the example here, it's a little bit harder because I have it pointing towards me instead of pointing towards you. So for this sake here, you have your Y, your X, and your Z would come out of you like this actually. So your Z would come out and it would also go through it. For sake of this one, it's coming out this way and it's going that way. So that would be the Z. Does it really matter? Yeah, when you're talking to other people, but for your own sake, for your own documentation, for your own things, it's almost irrelevant. It becomes relevant once you start sharing it to other people. You see it in chemistry, actually. Now it wasn't too warm, but now we pray a leaf doesn't fall into it. Must also say, I don't know if I'm gonna finish the skateboard. I'm not gonna put everything on it. I'm just drawing on it. Today's Mother's Day. Bless you, moms. Thank you for everything that you do. So if you have a motherly figure in your life or no motherly figures in your life, go tell them Happy Mother's Day. And if you're not seeing this on Happy Mother's, on Mother's Day, it's a Happy Mother's Day actually. It's a good day. Still send your thank you. Like sometimes people don't get to hear that all the time. So just tell them they're awesome. And they ask you why, go, well, some person on the internet told me to. And they didn't tell me directly. I just saw a video about it, and they're not wrong. They're not wrong. So anyways, enough about axes. I don't know where to go from here. So I had flowers. have this eye. I can give the eye more color if I really wanted to. See though, okay, so now that you draw an axis on the paper, it's really hard for your vision or your perception of said axis to get rid of it. Some of you actually find it easy, but others actually, it's troubling to let go of the notion that the drawing is now coming this way. When I have it going that way, it's going this way, and it's on a 2D plane. It gets really, really weird, really, really fast, the more you try to make logical sense. It's not logical. It is, well, actually, it is logical. It's just 2D art. Remember, this is the 2D surface. You can feel this. It's just 2D. It's not like I'm adding concavity. I'm not sanding this down, adding texture to this board. The board already has its own texture. I'm just putting 2D art that gives a 3D perception to your eyes. That's all it is. What makes it 3D? What's three-dimensional? 3 variables in which you know. Typically, 3D is conventionally talked in the sense of positions. You know, that's how we have a cube. I'm not great at drawing. Actually, that's a lie. I'm okay at drawing. I'm getting better every single time. But it's these like sides that you give it, but like how do you know when the piece is coming to you or is going away from you, you know? Like how do you know that? You give it one of these. You draw it on this type of axis in order to actually know what perception it is. Or people tell you, like this box is coming out towards you. This box is actually folded inwards. The box is coming towards you. The box is going, yeah, it's all in the words, in the context of the viewing. Because remember, I'm drawing it looking this way, you're viewing it this way. So you might be seeing different things that I'm seeing right now. And it isn't until I give a full 360 view of the full piece that you'll go like, wow, that's crazy. I don't know, well, it's just to give some other feeling to all this. I'm actually gonna try to draw lips, and it's from a different angle too, so it might not look the best, but it's an attempt. And to be honest, that's what speaks volumes, is attempting. You either do or do not. People will know where that comes from. I saw an Instagram reel about it, but I have watched the movies. Don't tell me to recall the movies. I will say they were good movies. If someone's now judging the vocabulary that were, they still are. I agree. They are good movies. I agree. Learn to sit in the silence. I don't just learn to sit in it, honestly. Sometimes you forget how fast life's going around you, and you sometimes just gotta take a moment to breathe. I'm not gonna tell you to breathe. You know how to breathe. Breathe. This one smells like banana. Where? Oh. Oh. I was like, what did I do with the stool? Of course, Mom. Shout out to Box Lunch for the purse. They didn't give it to me. I had to buy it. I'm not that cool. Not that cool. Not yet. No, it's good to get out the house and do stuff for other people. Yeah. No, I don't want to go around. That's it. No, okay. I'm gonna see what it looks like from the Mural's angle. Interesting. You know, if I move this, I don't know. It's its own piece so far. Some people are like, ooh, that's an interesting butterfly. I'm gonna go, yeah, it's one of a kind. It's my own. You know, it's also one of a kind when you do your makeup every morning, because you're not using the same exact like product. Because after you open the capsules, you began like the oxidizing of the chemicals, because now you've exposed them to oxygen. They're no longer in like an ideal enclosed, perfectly sealed, or rather you've increased the rate at which oxidation is occurring. I don't know. I don't do makeup. Someone's cat out there loves Green yarn. Someone's got to throw the green yarn. I thought this was one of those someone's swag is too deadly, but in all seriousness though, I pray everything is well for whomever they are. I always get my hands bleeding. I knew these yellow ones were gonna be like that. It's like, you're exposing the skateboard. Oh no. It actually is. Oh. I knew something was off with that green marker. Because even these ones, someone would be like, "You should have taken it back to the store." No, because it's one of a kind, silly. You're like, no, there's other defective ones. Tell me, how many people keep the defective ones? Tell me that one. Riddle me this, Batman. I don't know anything about Batman. Except he's rich. And an orphan. Actually, I don't know like a crazy amount, but like, I know the basics, you know? I'm not gonna point out the obvious, but I'm not gonna point out the obvious. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? What happened? Piston. Piston, what is it? What's up? Ooh, I messed up on that one. No, I didn't. It's all a part of the piece. So if this one's blue, what color should this one be? If this is blue and this is blue, it only leaves one option for this one. Now, every single person is thinking of a different color. How about when we paint it? You didn't think about that one, did you? And one person goes, I did. You're cool. And all the other people. Are also cool. Because simultaneously, you probably should use every single color that you do have to create cool pieces. I'll start off with blue. Put it to the side. Yeah, it's actually the first time the color white is actually going to be on this canvas. a little hard to see the yellow, but we know it. We know yellow's on this board. Now, yes, I am doing black twice. Now you may say, you guys know the answer to it. For the people who don't, because they're not the same pen. They are different. Although they are technically the same color, there is a different level of saturation of the ink inside these. One has a thicker, one don't worry about it. Wait, no, hold on. I'm actually really interested in learning. It's different flow rates on like the, okay. So yes, when these probably came out of the factory, they were injected with the same ink. They were injected with the same level of ink. However, the difference you will get in terms of color will actually come from the tips themselves. Fine point, chiseled. So these are, it's blocky, and this one is trying to be narrow and down to the other. And so, if you don't know, if you go down to the nanoscale, that is where we get different color looks. And so these thicknesses, although you may say at the macro level that they are not going to show any difference, but underneath the microscope, then you will see a difference at a certain perspective. And so experiment with the different, you have similar colored stuff, but experiment with the I don't know how to make this, experiment with the tip sizes, because they give you something different that you might have not known about, and you might actually find that for certain, like for this, you might prefer twisting the marker while you draw to create an effect compared to using this one and doing rolling. Where's a good spot? It creates a gap. Here, look, I'm creating a gap because of the chisel tip. Same motion. I'm starting to create the gap now, but it's not as consistent as these ones are. Now, before some people are gonna be like, ugh. No, this is where you get like the amazing pieces to come out. Here's this one's dancing. They have a lasso. There's another eye wall. There's a letter B for be yourself. Oh my god. Some people are looking at this like, dude, someone's gonna just skate on this. We're gonna mess up the arc on the bottom. Potentially. But unfortunately, I do not grind or anything. Hell, I can barely even pop an olive. So it's not gonna get too effed up. Now, if I start to experiment more and suddenly I can pop more, then yeah, of course it is. But until then, even after it's assembled, I don't even have grip tape for this board. I don't even have grip tape. It's just gonna be whatever. Ooh, white looks really good on this. White actually writes really, really well. on this. And it's the same thing as this yellow, so I gotta be careful because it can lift the spray paint. Ooh, it's like creating like an orange effect. You gotta be like careful. You good? You know, Brian, whatever you're thinking, yeah, there's no words. There's no words, man. And if you go, ha, good thing my name's not Brian, but you're thinking the same thing as Brian. Or you take it in a negative context. Whether Brian was thinking something good, he's like, wow, this piece is so great. That says something more about you than it does Brian now. S W P K M O. Yeah, never let your enemies and friends know your next move. Oh snap! I got this one dirty. At least it lets me know I use it. Oh yeah, I gotta look from your perspective again. Yes, your perspective. I think I want to call this a finished piece. I think I want what I want and what I need probably aren't the same thing, to be honest. Yeah, see this one got, it writes good on my hand, just not on this. That's okay. Gotta be careful. Can't saturate it with too much black. If I do that, that becomes a black canvas and it doesn't embody anything. Dope. Dope, dope, dope. Now, this side looks very, very empty. So, this side is where I'm going to put the tag for me. And so, I'm going to tag it actually multiple times. I was just going to put RMW, but I don't think I'm that well known yet. To myself, I'm very known, you know? Kind of wake up every single day with myself, so, you know? I think right here. And then it's all like facing towards me, so like someone has to like pick up the deck and actually like do something. So here, all right, like RMW. Blast this thing with. You can see like a lady's face right here. Like it starts to like make out like a figurine. I see where to put it. The point of them is to get dirty. That's why I have them on me. Close, close though, close. Okay. Boom. Okay. So now, normally I don't lift this up. Actually, I can take this off. Whoa. Okay. It's gonna be hard with my shadow, but okay, we have this view. Cool. Now we rotate. Now we gotta look. This is the angle that I was viewing it from. Okay. Here's an alternate view. Okay. Here is another view. Oh, and then back to the original view. This is like how, okay, hold on. Gotta zoom in. How I'm gonna view it. But yeah, that's the art piece. So, thank you for being here, if you are here. Bye.